Welcome, welcome. This is the Studio X podcast. I am Adam Rowe, and this is my young beauty.
Oh, again, don't get me too excited too quickly. Are you gonna say my name, or I gotta say my name?
Maxco Benage.
Oh my goodness! I thought I had like an exciting intro plan. Like had an exciting intro plan for me, and you're gonna hype me up.
No, we're just coming to you from the Studio X.
That's what it is.
Okay, we got a little bit rebranding going on. Our last podcast was the Wolf Den. We had a lot of backlash for that, though. A lot of people saying, there's this guy, Wolf of Wall Street. He's got, $350K. He doesn't want us being, doing the same kind of thing. So we rebranded. No problem. We're flexible people, right?
That's right. We blew up so fast with our first episode. I think it was, 2 million views in the first 24 hours?
I can't. I was too busy to even look at the views, but
yeah.
I heard a lot of people talking about something like that. I'm not sure exactly what the numbers were, but it was really popping off. That's all I can say.
And the other podcast with similar names got a little bit upset with the amount of an audience that we pulled so quickly, obviously. So
yeah, of course. You know what I mean? When we're talking about this podcast is just about, it's about genuine stories. It's we're not about anything fake here. We're two guys in a basement, two best friends. I've known this kid since what? Grade 4?
Grade 4.
I think it was grade 4, right? And we've had a lot of inside jokes over the years. We've had a lot, of memories, a lot of good times, and we have a lot of stories from that. And we're just here to, let you guys in on these, these life stories, life lessons, really. I think you can really learn a lot from watching these podcasts. You know what I mean? Because we're going to be going through stories. We're going to be going through good memories, bad memories, lots of stuff over the years. We've just started, but we're going to be doing lots on this podcast. That's
keeping it light as well, though. Keeping it light.
Keeping it light. We're not going. We're giving you the details, but we're not going into things too deep. We're just letting it flow.
Yeah.
Just letting it flow. Anyways, we've rebranded as Studio X. This is the studio we're in, and it's we wanted to do Studio X because it's the unknown studio.
Yeah, nobody knows who the fuck
Nobody knows where the studio is.
That's true.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And we're not telling you. You might want to know, but you're not going to know where the studio is. We got lots of setups in here, lots of stuff going on. You may think the podcast is the only thing we're doing in Studio X, but it's not.
No, sirree, Bob.
We got lots of stuff happening in Studio X, okay? It's a working machine. Let's just say that. It's a working machine. Anyways, I'll give you this one hint. We are up in Canada. Let's just say that. We are up in Canada.
Yeah.
We're up in the north. And, the season's chilling out this year,
Yo, and honestly, this is the worst time of the year, especially for, like, in Canada where we are.
It's like you don't have a lot going on, but there is something within you. There's a little bit of something, and it's that holiday season.
Well, that's the good part. I'm
just saying that there is a little something in there.
It's the good part.
But the rest of you is kind of going, what's happening?
Why is it dark at 5:00? First of all,
what's going on with this time change? I'm not sure what's happening. The daylight saving thing, I'm not sure what's going on there. They say they want to save daylight, but shouldn't they save daylight when we don't have a lot of daylight? Daylight savings is actually the reverse of what you really think. They save the daylight.
Okay, I'm listening.
They save the daylight when they don't need to save it, and then when they really need to save it, which is in the winter, it's actually we're not on daylight savings time. The daylight savings time is during the summer when we don't need to save the daylight. And I'm not sure what's going on there. There's a lot of people saying we should, scrap daylight savings time. Well, all I can say is it makes it worse for us when we're up in Canada. Our days actually get shorter during the winter.
Yeah, and it's weird because you think, it's 5:00 and it's dark out. But when it's dark out, it's like, I'll go to, it's dinner. Maybe I'll have dinner and go to sleep in an hour or like a couple hours. But it's like it's only 5:00.
Yeah,
that's the shit. That's the part I was saying. Like, fuck, man.
It gets dark a little bit too soon because you get your day started, you're going at it, you have lunch, and then you want a good, solid hours to get your work done. And then once your work done, you want to do something, you want to, relieve the steam. But, up here in Canada, with the daylight savings time, as we were saying, it's dark when you get off work, and you're just kind of like, you're confused of what you should be really doing. I mean, not to say you do get in the rhythm, when you're talking February, January.
Yeah.
But when it first changes over until Christmas, you're a little bit caught off guard.
But I will say, it is nice, though, during the Halloween season, because it's fucking creepy as fuck.
That is,
know what I'm saying?
you can't get trick-or-treaters in Canada without it being dark, because it gets dark so damn early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit strange. I mean, I've heard a lot of people saying that, they're trying to scrap daylight savings time because it's really, it was really made for the old factory workers and stuff like that.
Yeah, wasn't it something like to do with the war?
Something,
maybe I'm crazy.
It's
Maybe
some
I'm crazy.
old terms that they created. I mean, it hasn't been around for a long time, but it is a universal thing. They do it everywhere.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure they do it everywhere.
I don't really not know.
I was in London; they were doing it there. So, but I mean, up in Canada, we're in Ontario. We're not that north. We're not, up in the,
Yeah.
Arctic or whatever.
Yeah.
North Arctic, but we do get affected, very much with the time change, and then we get, with our natural time change too. Anyway, so yeah, it's been getting dark here very, very early lately. I think what are we hitting right now? Like 4:45. It's the sun's starting to get setted, and then I mean, we're waiting up to December 21st. That's the shortest day of the year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
And then
it goes back to June 24th or June 21st. I mean,
yeah.
Anyway, so days are getting shorter. We're doing a lot of our work in the dark these days. Like even my parents, they finish work, they go for a walk, and it's dark out.
Oh yeah.
It's not it's not an inviting environment. That should be a tongue twister.
Yeah. Inviting
environment. I'm not even sure how many times I could do that. It's not an inviting environment to go out and walk in. You want some sunlight. But up here in Canada, you can't really do that with the damn time change. That's another tongue twister, time change. I'm having trouble with that. Maybe I'm just having some speech therapy.
Are you having a stroke?
Therapy. I don't know what's going on. But that's another, it is difficult with the time change and, with the seasonal changes too.
Yeah,
if we just had one, it would be a lot less of an impact.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I think when we rocking, mid-November now. We just had Halloween a couple weeks ago. That was it is Halloween. I do love Halloween. In Canada, it is great. We got the leaves, we got the coniferous trees, stuff like that. And with the time change, I think this is the only good thing about the time change.
Yeah.
Is the nice time. It's always dark when there's trick-or-treaters, you don't have to worry about it light because it's dark at 5:30, and, trick-or-treaters kind of like, the young ones come out at, 6:30.
You're not staying up so late. When you're 11 years old.
And it goes to, probably, like 9, 10? I think that's kind of like the older kids come out at 9, or like 8 to 9, and then they're kind of wrapped up by 10. So it is dark. You get all the leaves, from the coniferous trees.
I don't think that's coniferous.
Is it coniferous trees?
No, I don't think that's
coniferous trees are the trees that
I think those
that last all year round. No?
Yo, we're fucking stupid. I have no idea.
We might have to do a couple fact change.
I have no idea.
We're talking about the trees that lose their leaves.
Like the fucking maple trees and stuff.
Yeah, the maple trees, and then they come back in the spring. I think the coniferous trees are the trees that don't leaves. They're like the Christmas trees. They don't leave any. I think that's the coniferous trees. We're talking about the opposite of those. If you're getting confused on the podcast, anyways. These trees, they lose all their leaves, and, it gives a really good environment for the trick-or-treaters, because it's creepy. There's lots of, they basically, the leaves die, and then there's dead leaves everywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. I think it's the colors, really. I think it's the colors, the orange and the black, with the pumpkins. I really think in Canada, we have great seasonal holidays, honestly.
What was it? You were in England last year for, like, all
you remember
of
that story I was telling you?
No, No, you got to go. You got to tell me it.
Okay, I'll remind you
yeah.
of it. Last year, so I did a year in London, England, and it's a great, they do a lot more different things than we do. They do the Halloween kind of thing, trick or treating, that kind of stuff, but they do. You have Oktoberfest here in Canada.
Yeah.
They love that Oktoberfest in Canada, but it's even bigger in Europe, obviously, because it's from Germany. It's from Munich, and I have one crazy story from I think it was last year, right? Me and my buddy, we were saying, because me and Max, we always went out for Halloween. It's kind of once you get too big for trick or treating, you go to parties, okay? You go and have some fun. You get a good costume, right? It's all about the costume for me, and I was telling I had lots of friends from around the world in London that I hung out with, and I was telling him, we got to do something for Halloween, man. We got to do something. And he was saying, they have Oktoberfest going. And I was like, yeah, we could do that, and we could do something else too. You know what I mean? See if there's, there's lots of clubs in London, England. So I'm like, see if there's some clubs there doing some Halloween, vibe kind of thing going on. Anyways, we decided on going to Oktoberfest in London, England, which is basically just a huge, just a huge room with a little bit of dancing. They got a band, and it's not outdoors, it's indoors because it's pretty cold in London, England at that time. And they still, in London, England, they do Oktoberfest for very long, right? And so I think the real Oktoberfest is only on for about two weeks. I might be wrong about that, but I think it's kind of the hype is about 2 weeks. But they still had these things going on in London, England. So we went over, and this was our pre to going to the club, which was a different type of pre than just having some beers with your friends. Let's just say that.
Okay.
This was more of like a Oktoberfest pre.
Okay.
And if you know anything about Oktoberfest, they're a little bit, more about the drinking than anything else. Let's just say that. And I've actually been to the real Oktoberfest, and I know how much they drink. But we were kind of doing the London experience, which is a little bit different. It's a little bit more conservative. It's not as, crazy as the real October. You can't, if you're at the real one, it's got to be a lot more authentic than, the remix of it. But nonetheless, it was still great. It was a big, atmosphere, big room, lots of people sitting on picnic tables, and the band, and then a lot of dancing stuff, a lot of drinking, really. Let's just say that.
Okay.
And me and my friend went. We first arrived there. We had costumes, nonetheless. We had costumes. I actually, I dressed up as the famous character Steve Harrington from Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you
I've
guys
never
know
seen.
about
I
that.
haven't seen it, but
everybody
in the fucking world. Everybody in the world
I'm trying to get
has.
this guy started on it. He's watched 3 episodes, but he's still getting in there.
Yeah.
Stranger Things, you gotta love it. I love the '80s theme. Love all that stuff. The acting's, great. Kid acting is great. Anyways, I thought, so I kind of dressed up as Steve Harrington from the 3rd season. I don't know. I don't want to give any spoilers, but he did work at an ice cream shop. So I don't think that's a spoiler, but that's just a little information. But I dressed up as his ice cream man outfit, basically. So I was wearing it's kind of like this ice cream shop in the mall that they do sailor. It's like a sailor theme. So I had a little Ahoy hat and a little sailor's with the Steve on it from Steve Harrington from Stranger Things. Anyways, in London, I don't think the show is as big there because Netflix I don't think is as big as North America, where we live. But many people got the outfit.
It's like
the Halloween costume.
Maybe Netflix isn't the biggest thing there, but Stranger Things is the biggest thing on Netflix. So
true.
Well, maybe not anymore because. Haven't they stopped it? I don't know.
Honestly, I was trying to research this the other day. They said that they were everyone's waiting for it because there's 1, 2, and 3 seasons, right? Everyone's waiting for that 4th season. But because of COVID, they've actually had to postpone it back to, I think they said 2021, which is a little bit, that's we haven't had a new season in a year now. We're
So it'll
waiting
be 2
another.
years.
It's a long time to wait for another season. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And when the season comes out, what are you gonna do? You're gonna binge watch it in one night. That's the
Yeah.
thing. And then you're gonna be left. You're gonna be like, what am I supposed to do for the next, 2 years, or how long they're gonna make the next season after that?
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't really like about Netflix is, it's so hard not to binge watch it
Yeah.
when it comes out because they release the season in one night. You know what I mean?
Okay, you know what's a fucking amazing show that doesn't do that? The Mandalorian, and it's on
You're watching Disney Plus?
it's on Disney Plus. Yeah.
You know what? I haven't
And
got to
it's-
that. I haven't
But
got
dude,
to that.
The Mandalorian is actually fucking amazing. It's so
Really?
good.
Is it the same concept as I know the Mandalorian. I don't know much about it though. It's the same concept as like the original Star Wars
Yeah,
series,
it's like
or?
it's literally like it's like another. It's just like this bounty hunter. He's a Mandalorian, and
But it's not
he-
the bounty hunter. It's not like the original bounty hunter.
No, it's different. It's different. It's like
I get
it's
you,
its
I
own
get you.
character.
Yeah.
It's its own character, but he literally just it's just like his story, and he goes on like
Mhm.
adventures or whatever. But they release it like the episodes on Disney Plus weekly,
Mm-hmm.
so you can't really binge watch it unless you wait all the weeks.
Man, I've seen so many ads for the Mandalorian lately.
It's
I
so
mean,
fucking
it's
good.
we're filming this today's November 14th. But I've seen so many ads with little Yoda.
Yo, Baby Yoda is the best.
Baby
I-
Yoda, he's so
when I
cute.
first
He's
saw
so
it-
cute.
When I first saw it, I was like, "What the? This is fucking stupid." Like,
Yeah,
what? But
yeah.
then in the show, it works. I think it works. Like, it's not like
The plot's like original.
it's
good.
it's original.
Yeah.
It's good. Like, it's not like they just tried to hang on. Okay, you know how like the other the other recent Star Wars movies, they kind of just tried to like hang on to the legacy of like the originals.
Yeah, they were really. They didn't have a lot of context that they thought was, gonna pull them a good audience. So
Yeah,
they tried
yeah.
to like take. I think they tried to take a lot of the original movies, content, and use it, as their own.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't really do it because there's such a huge time gap between the original movies and, the new movies that are coming out
Yeah.
in 20. Like, when did they start producing those? 2017,
No idea.
2016, something like
But
that.
my point was like they it's not like they didn't really try too hard to follow the clout of the originals. Like, they came up with their own thing,
Mm.
but it still followed the original sort of like universe, and there's like little things like characters will come back from those old
So they're actually coming up with new content.
new content, but still following the same thing that made Star Wars so great. I don't know. This is literally just a rant, but I love The Mandalorian.
Dude, I gotta check it out, man. I
It's
gotta
really
check it
good.
out because I mean the Star Wars movies. To me, they're so before. I mean, I'm a 98.
Yeah.
You're a 99.
Yeah.
Before our time, but they were so before. As I know, they were so before their time. They came out when nothing like that was happening. The animation and the special effects were so,
Revolutionary.
revolution. They
Yeah.
were so much on a higher, quality than anything else that was made at that time. And I think that's why they did so good.
Yeah.
It's because you can't compare it to like today. You can watch an old Star Wars movie and you can go, yeah, it's got a good plot. The special effects are okay. But you're comparing those old movies to the new movies today with all the technology we have. But if you lived in that old time frame and you watched those movies while they were coming out, and looking around you at what technology you have, they were so before their time. With
Yeah.
the special effects, the animations, all that kind of stuff. And so I think that's what made them big. And so I think if you want to keep that, if you want to keep that passion, that, the revolutionary, before its time, you can't just show what they did, 20, 30 years ago. You got to show even more. You got to be before your time, even,
Yeah.
in present day right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Dude, I don't know. I don't know what you were saying, but I just added. I just like mentioned the Mandalorian, and now we just went off on like a
Yeah,
tangent.
we're a little
What
bit
were you
off on a
saying?
tangent.
What were you
Anyways,
saying?
I was talking about. I can't even remember. I was talking about costumes. I think.
Costumes.
How did we get
yeah,
to
yeah,
Star
yeah.
Wars?
So
I'm not even. I'm not even.
you
Anyways,
were saying about
we were at Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. I think that's what
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were on. We were at. Mouth's a little dry. Talking a lot. We were at Oktoberfest. Okay, so we're dancing, and I only lived there for a year, so I didn't know the vibe. I didn't know. I had been to the real Oktoberfest before this,
Mm-hmm.
and the real Oktoberfest is just like it's literally like a carnival, like a huge like if our viewers are coming from the States, Canada, very similar, Canada, the States, it's like a huge American carnival. If you live in Canada and Canada's Wonderland, it's kind of like that. It's like a big carnival going on, and there's lots of, rides, and there's lots of, games to play and stuff like that. Lots of food, lots of, junk food, cotton candy, that kind of stuff. It's like a big carnival. And then they have these huge wooden tents. They call them tents, but they're like big cabins almost.
That's sick.
And they have each tent is like almost like a brewery. If you're from North America, you know what a brewery is. And it's kind of like, you go to that tent to every brewery, every tent has a different vibe, if it's the music, the type of beer, the type of people, you know what I mean? And you kind of cater to your own needs. You go around, you check the vibes of every tent, and you go to the tent that, best fits your vibe or whatever. And I was with my sister and her boyfriend, and we were just kind of, I think we had like 1 or 2 nights at Oktoberfest. We were on a tight schedule, so we needed to find what tent, and they fill up fast. They fill up very, very, very fast.
I mean, I bet
it's like they have these picnic tables at Oktoberfest, and there's only a certain amount of picnic tables in the tent, and people book these picnic tables 8 months in advance.
Jesus Christ!
Just to get a good seat at a picnic table in a tent at Oktoberfest. That's how big it is. And so we were we flew in that day, and then we, got to the hotel, and then we went straight to Oktoberfest. We got the outfits. We went straight to Oktoberfest, and we were like, we got to find a tent that's, got the vibe, and, we didn't know anything about the seating arrangement that we had to book 8 months in advance.
Oh no!
And so we were like, trying to find seats for the longest time, and then we found there was these people that left early, so this was actually outside of the tent. This wasn't even in the tent.
Okay.
We found this one tent that was like got a pretty good vibe, and people were saying, well, if you can find seats outside of it, because they do have picnic tables outside of it, you sit there, you can actually order drinks. Because you can't order drinks just standing around. You got to sit at a picnic table. So we ordered drink. We sat at another picnic table outside, ordered drinks, ordered some food, And then they were saying, if you're lucky, you can find people that actually leave from the inside, and then you can take their seats. But you got to be really lucky. Anyways, we were hungry, honestly. We just got off a flight. We hadn't eaten in a long time. We were hungry. So we just sat down at a picnic table outside, and we were talking, and, we were getting schnitzel. We got a bunch of schnitzel, some chicken. I think we got some chicken and fries, and then a bunch of beer. Let's be honest. It's Oktoberfest. And it's amazing. It's 12 euros, like a mug of beer. It's amazing. The beers are like this big. And you don't know what type of beer it is. This was the other sketch thing.
Okay.
It's just, you just order the beer from the tent, and each tent has a different type of beer. And you get that beer, and I think he has 12 years of beer, and then it just has like the name on the mug, and you don't really know what you're drinking. If you're drinking a lager, a stout, an ale, you don't really know.
Okay.
But it tasted kind of similar to like American beer. It was very, like kind of like a lager. Like it was very light. Anyways, we sat down, and it just so happened that the people that left before we sat down, the people beside them left, probably 5 minutes after us. And these kids sat down beside us.
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
were in the full outfit, very authentic. We had there was kind of like if you're from the States, there's a you know what H&M, or even like Europe. I mean H&M's from Europe, so
Okay.
it's really big in the States though. We're talking about like it's kind of like an Germany H&M. This is where we got the outfits from. So we went, and they are authentic, Oktoberfest outfits. But these kids came up and they were wearing the swag, man. They were having they had all the outfits.
They were raised in Oktoberfest.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And they were looking at us and they were saying, and they were looking at us and they were looking back, and I was like, should we strike a conversation with these kids?
Yeah.
They looked like they were young though. They were like I was like, I was probably, 2019 at this age, going
Mhm.
Oktoberfest. These kids looked a lot younger. They were kind of like, early high school, and they were at this, like, this drinking event. Like,
Yeah.
like that's what Oktoberfest, originated from, the king's wedding celebration, about a drinking festival. And that's kind of where it originated. And so they're at this drinking festival. I'm like, how are these kids, I'm coming from Canada. It's 19, the States is 21. I'm like, how are these kids getting in here?
Yeah.
They
They've got
come-
some good fake IDs.
They still got some good fake IDs.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. And I'm thinking like, holy, like how are these kids in here? And I was like, I got to strike a conversation with these kids, man. They were really high spirit, yelling, stuff like that. I'm like, how old are you guys?
Yeah.
They're like, with their German accents, they're like, I'm 16. And that's not a German accent. Ich habe Strein. They're like, I'm 16,
Just get into it. There
I'm
you go.
trying to get
into it.
Hey, we went to a private school
Get into it.
that taught us a little bit of German. So I'm trying to get in the German accent.
Well, that was when we weren't, like throwing like stuff, or kids weren't running around.
Yeah, we had
half
a bit-
naked,
or eating cabbages. We had a bit of
Cabbages,
an interesting middle school. Let's just say that. And they're just like, 16, yeah, 16.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys are 16? What? All these kids, they're sitting down there. There's probably like, 6 or 7 of them. 16. They're smoking darts, right?
Oh, okay.
I mean, what we call them again, darts.
Yeah.
Smoking darts. And I'm like, what are you guys doing here? Like, 16? That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And they're like, what? This is it's the normal here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, man, that's crazy. Anyways, great kids, man. Great kids. Super open-minded. We were talking to them. We actually shared our dinner because we ordered way too much. We didn't know what the serving sizes was, so we ordered way too much. And then they bought beer. They had money for beer and cigarettes, but they weren't buying any food.
They didn't have any money for dinner, but they did for beer.
Just for beer and
Yeah.
cigarettes.
Yeah.
And so we were like, oh yeah, like they were like, can I have a bite? Can I have a bite? And we were
Yeah.
like, yeah, we're like, I'm done with this. Like, you can have it. So we were actually sharing our meal with them. Anyways, there was this one kid that was hilarious. He went on a retreat to Vancouver, and he was saying that the cannabis is really great in Canada. And he was saying, I am going to move to Canada.
Yeah.
And I thought that was hilarious. These 16-year-olds, man.
Yeah.
So like, anyways, we talked to them for a while, and then and they were straight German. They were actually from Munich, where Oktoberfest originated from, and so like born and raised. So we talked to them for a while, and then we were saying, like, what's going on in the tent? Like, we should be in the tent.
Yeah.
And they were saying, oh, you got to get invitations.
Okay.
And we were like, well, how are we going to get those? And they were like, don't worry. Like, we'll help you guys, get in the tent.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
they know what's up. They know what's
We
up.
got a cocktail
Oh,
from
here we
our
go.
bartender. Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you very much. What are we drinking right now?
Beauty.
Moscow Mule.
All
Okay, we
right.
got the kind of the European vibe, eh? Perfect.
What did you say? You're having another stroke again, Adam.
The Moscow Mule. We're getting European.
Okay. You said it. You were having a Jürgen to mean.
Might be slurring my words. I'm not sure.
Let's see this thing.
It's a lot of talking. Let's just say that on the podcast. But hey, that's what podcasts are, right? It's just talking. It's just telling stories, talking about information.
Literally
That's all it is.
throwing up onto the mic. That's pretty much what it is.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Okay,
let's get
so
back to the story.
so you're trying to sneak in. You're trying to sneak into the tent using the 16-year-olds. I
So
don't know
I'm
if
like-
you're. I don't know if you've ever.
So I'm like,
I
so
don't
I'm
know if
like,
you've ever snuck in. I don't know if you've ever snuck into an event. Usually, you want to use somebody who's at least of age. Come on.
of age. Usually, you want to use someone older than you.
Yeah.
But
know
with the
about you.
Germans,
I
dude, they're
I-
so smart. They're so with it that you just got to roll
Yeah.
with them when you're in there.
Yeah.
When you're in Germany, you just got to roll with them. Anyways, I roll with these guys, okay, and there's like in the tent. We finally get in the tent, and it's just jam packed, right?
Okay.
Jam packed, and I mean, me and Max, we did go to a private school that teach German, but let's just say our language teachers weren't really doing the job.
They had some stuff. I'll tell you that.
Let's just say that
They
we
had
had like a
some
new
stuff.
teacher every 2 weeks. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And so we learned a little bit, but nothing that we could actually use. You know what I mean? So I knew a little bit about the German language, but I couldn't talk it. I couldn't fluently talk it. And there was kind of like, okay, so let's picture this. You get in the tent. The band's in the middle, okay? And then the proximity around the band is where the action's going down. It's where the people are dancing, the people are having, the hoot and holler, you know what I mean? And then around that, outside of that, people are just kind of, they're just having their dinner. They're just having a couple beers. And I was only there for a couple nights, so I was like, I got to get in the action. I got to feel what Oktoberfest is really about. And so I was telling these kids, I was like, we got to get in there, man. We got to get right behind the band, right in front of the band. We got to get there. And that's the hardest seat to get because people pre-book those crazy in advance, huge amounts of money to get into that seat. Anyways, these kids were like, don't worry, man. I'll get you in there.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't speak German. These kids know the stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just got to roll with these kids. Anyways, so we just kind of I just kind of rolled with these kids, and dude, the connections they were just walking up, talking to people, and so we finally got. I think there was this one booth that they knew a connection, and then they were like, let's go with it, and we got up talking to them, and then we got into that kind of booth, and then once we were up there, solid, we were good
Okay.
for the whole night. And we were just, yelling the songs out from the band. It's amazing how much American music they play there.
Huh.
Like Sweet Caroline.
Really?
Yeah, like all those kind of songs. They love that stuff over there. As well with a lot of German, a lot like folk music and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, we just, just yelling it out. They stand on the picnic tables. They drink the beer and they smash. And actually, the one beside. So I was with these guys. My sister and her boyfriend. They kind of stayed back. They were kind of doing their own thing. And but it got late enough that kind of outside was kind of getting toned down. So they wanted to come in. And actually, behind where I was staying, where I was staying at the booth. I call it a booth. It's basically a picnic table that everybody stands
Okay,
around
yeah.
on the seats. They stand on the seats
Okay, I get you. Yeah,
get
yeah,
me?
yeah.
So-
So they stand on the seat so they can see.
so they can
I get
see,
you.
and then they're it's like a circle of people that they're just jamming with.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Drinking
yeah.
beer.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a huge mug in their hand.
Yeah.
And behind where I was standing, these guys just went all out and they did like a huge cheer with all their beers, and like
Holy
4
shit.
or 5 of them snapped while they hit, like they completely
smashed.
shattered,
Yeah.
and like the handles went into other people's hands, and it cut their hands open. And there was
holy
like,
shit.
I didn't see it because I was just in the moment, right? But I looked behind me, 10, 15 minutes after it happened, and there's just like blood all over the table. And I'm like, what happened here? Anyways, they cleaned it up, and this table was like open. So I was telling my sister and her boyfriend, you guys got to get in here.
Yeah,
This is
get in the
only-
murder table. Yeah, come and sit
Get in the
down.
murder table.
Somebody just like literally knifed someone over here.
Well, this is the only opportunity you're gonna get, so get in here. So then they got
Yeah.
in there, and I mean that filled up pretty fast. Nobody really cared about the blood. They just wiped that up, and it was just a rock and roll party after that. And the thing is Oktoberfest does end at 10:30. They wrap it up.
That's fucking weird.
They wrap it up. Well, because they're drinking all day. I mean, who can last more than 10:30?
It ends at 10:30, but what
It
people don't
starts
know
at
is
11 o'clock.
It starts in the morning.
It starts at they start drinking at
Yeah.
lunchtime, and then they're sloshed at 9, and then they fall over at 10,
Yeah, I get
and
you.
they're out at 10:30.
Yeah.
And so I got wrapped up from there, and that was pretty much we were on our way after that. But that was the Oktoberfest party. But that's just the prelogue to the story. I'm really explaining it.
No, it's good. It's good.
So now you know
So
about.
now you're
Really
you're
in tune with
witnesses.
Oktoberfest. You know what's going on. You know what it's about.
Yeah.
So
You guys are chief witnesses on the murder scene now. Is that what you're saying?
Well, relatively.
Okay, all right. Just
We're
keep
at-
it in track.
We're at the London Oktoberfest, which is not the same vibe. Let me be clear.
Mm.
They do have a similar setup, but it's not the German vibe. I mean, you got to expect that it's going to be a lot more lively at the real one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you guys have a chance to go to Oktoberfest, I mean, without COVID, it is crazy, man. It is a crazy time. Just the
That would be
energy.
fun. That would
Just
be
the
so
energy,
fun.
man. Anyways, we're at the the London Oktoberfest, and it's actually after like the original Oktoberfest date, so it's kind of like you're just kind of drinking. You're not really celebrating.
Okay.
So a lot of people were just kind of like sitting down drinking,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, kind of like some people were. I mean, this is like Halloween, man. This is Halloween day we're going on. And I was like, some people were in costume, some people weren't. And I was like, why are you not in costume if you're here? Like, what the hell? Like, you got to be either in a like Halloween costume or Oktoberfest costume.
I get you.
That was kind of the debate. Which costume do you go with? And I was even debating this.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, well, I was going to go to a Halloween club later. So I was like, I'll go with a Halloween costume.
Yeah.
So we're at Oktoberfest. We're talking, we're drinking some beers. We start dancing. I mean, it's so hard not to get drunk at Oktoberfest, because the beer sizes are way too big for anyone, that it's like, you have one and you're pretty much drunk, but you're like, I've only had one.
Oh, so you're like, I can't just have one.
I can't just have one. I got to get a couple more.
Yeah.
So let's just say we get a little bit tipsy at Oktoberfest, and that wraps up at 8 o'clock, because I mean, Oktoberfest wraps at around 10 o'clock, so. Or 10:30, so the English people probably going wrapping it up around 8, so we wrap that up, and then we go, we got to get to the club, and we're a little tipsy, but we're not bad. So we call a Bolt. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's cheaper than an Uber, but a little bit not as good as an Uber. Let's just say that.
It's just John in his van.
You kind of have to coordinate the timing with a Bolt. Let's just say that.
What, you just call some guy up on their cell phone like, "Yo, can you pick me up?" or what? What's going? What?
It's like the cheaper alternative to Uber, and they use it a lot. Well, all my friends in London were using it, so I was like, gotta use it, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So we call a Bolt, and we get to this club, and it was my friends. My buddies said, "Oh, you got to go to this Halloween club." So we were like, "Well, we'll check it out." I didn't really know where it was, so I was like, I'm already a little tipsy off of the Oktoberfest, So I'm like, "Let's go."
Yeah, fuck it. Once you got a couple drinks and you're like, "Yo, I'm good for whatever."
You're good for the whole night, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, "Let's go." So I get in this Bolt and I bolt down to this club. It wasn't really a Bolt though; it took like forever. And we get to this club, and we're like, we have to wait outside for a little bit. We're still in our costumes, and we finally get in there, and we met a bunch of my other friends at that club, and this was this was the beginning of their night. So they were like, "Yo,
oh god,
let's buy some drinks, man." And I was like, "What?" You know what I mean? And so they're buying drinks for everyone, man. And I'm like, me and my friend are already like kind of like this, from the Oktoberfest celebration.
Yeah.
And we're kind of like, sure.
Fuck it.
We'll drink some more drinks. So we're drinking, and, we're having a good time. And, things just got a little bit a little bit crazy after then. After that, we like kind of the I was off on my own for a little bit. With the group kind of split up. We kind of were like, just all over. They were playing some crazy music. It wasn't really a Halloween. People were dressed up in Halloween costumes, but it wasn't really a Halloween club. They were playing some like rave music. Not like creepy music. I thought it was going to be like a creepy.
That would have been sick.
You know what I mean?
That
They were playing
so
some
cool.
rave music. So I was kind of like, I just did my thing at the club. You doing a little dancing, doing a little bit of like, walking around, sweating. And, the clubs end around like, I think the club ended at around like, they closed at like 3 or 4. Now, usually like, in London, England, like some of the clubs close like 6 o'clock, like Minister of Sound, 6 o'clock. They're like, it's getting late.
Nightclub, 6
like,
o'clock. What the?
You know what? I think that's the sun. Let's shut it down. But this one, I think it was a Halloween event. So they were like, they probably made their money by 1 o'clock. So they were kind of like, get everybody out of here.
Fuck this. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, literally. So we were out around 3 o'clock. And my friend was super, super hungry. So he was like, yo, let's go to McDonald's, man. Let's go to McDonald's. And so we...
As one does after a club. Makes sense.
Literally, because it's the only thing open. So they're like, let's bolt to McDonald's. So we bolted to McDonald's. And we got to McDonald's. And the thing is because like the Oktoberfest, we were just kind of sitting down, just drinking beer. I was on my phone a lot. I was checking things out. I was on my phone.
Okay.
And so I used a lot of battery up.
So, oh no. I know where this is going now.
So I was at the McDonald's and I was like, man, my phone's getting low, dude. and he was like, my friend always comes prepared, dude. Trust me. His name's Ronaldo. He always comes prepared. He's like,
Shout out Ronaldo. Brazilian, great guy, man. Love the dude. He's still in London. I think he's stuck there for COVID, honestly. But great guy, man. We're at McDonald's, okay? We got a couple, cheeseburgers. We're having some food. We're getting refilled. And he's got a charger. He's charging my phone. And my phone's at literally like, I think when we got to McDonald's, it was about 2%. And then we charged it up to like 9%. Oh.
And then...
That's not good.
And then it was an old phone. So I was like, okay, 9%. I like, it's pretty good. So I'm charging it. I'm trying to get more charge. And, the McDonald's was crazy busy, right? Because it's the only thing open. And so we're kind of like, let's get out of here. Let's go home. I'm kind of done with all these people around us. You know what I mean? And so he was kind of like, call an Uber, and I'll call an Uber, and then, we'll see each other in the future.
Yeah.
And so I was, calling
not a Bolt.
And no, but listen to this. I was calling an Uber, and then my friend was like, wait, call a Bolt.
Oh no.
Shout out to Bolt. This podcast is sponsored by Bolt.
Yeah.
No, we're joking.
Can you switch to the Bolt channel?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
No, we're not sponsoring Bolt. Although I think Uber got kicked out of London. I'm not sure. I'm not sure they're back, but they did get a...
Yo, I actually heard about that.
They got kicked out of London. I
actually heard about that. That's all. I just heard about it. I don't know anything about it, but...
Anyway, so he's like, dude, call a Bolt, man. It's cheaper. And I'm like, you know what? I'll save a couple bucks, right? I've already spent a lot of money drinking, Oktoberfest beer. So I'm like, I'll save a couple bucks. So I download the Bolt app, which used a lot of data and a lot of energy.
Oh, no.
And a lot of battery.
Yeah.
So I get the Bolt app. I'm, doing all my stuff. And I call a Bolt. And he says, I'm going to be there in, 5 minutes. So I go, okay, 5 minutes, eat the cheeseburger. I'm charging my phone. Then this guy phones. And he goes, I'm here. And I go, okay, I'm coming out. Just give me 1 second. I go, hey, see you, Ronaldo. Like, I'm out. So I go out. I don't think I had a bag. I just had my phone and my stuff, my keys and stuff. I go out. I'm talking to this guy on the phone. I'm like, hey.
You're still pretty fucked up at this point.
I'm really fucked up at this point.
You're really fucked up at this point.
All the drinks from the club, all the drinks from Oktoberfest. I'm not feeling... I'm feeling good. Let's just say that.
Yeah, you're feeling really good. Yeah.
And the thing is he called the Bolt from the... I knew where the Oktoberfest was, but I didn't know where the club was because he called the Bolt to the club, and then he called the Bolt from the club to the McDonald's, which was even another, ride.
But so he did it, and you didn't really know what was going on.
I didn't really know what was going on. I just followed him, so I didn't know where exactly I was.
Okay.
I knew I was in London. That's all I knew. So I'm like, hi, I'm here. And he goes, He goes, where are you? Where are you? And I'm like, I'm at the McDonald's.
Yeah.
And I literally, like, you know how they have the custom, GPS? They can, GPS off your phone. I had that. My GPS was literally on the McDonald's. I don't know what this Bolt driver was doing. He was off in Timbuktu.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm at the McDonald's, man. I'm at the McDonald's.
Yeah.
And he's like, I cannot see you. I cannot see you. And I'm like, dude, I'm right here. And he's like, what intersection are you at? And I'm like, I'm on this like street that has no names. The nearest intersection is like, a mile. I'm like, I'm going to have to like run to find the nearest intersection. He's like, I need the intersection. I need the intersection. So I'm running down the street.
Does he not have a GPS on your phone? Like,
dude, I don't know what this guy had. He had some bullshit.
dude. Okay.
And I'm running and I'm running. I finally find a street intersection that says, something. And I go, I'm at the and I was pretty blurry eyed. So I was like, I'm at the, like, it's 4 or 5 in the morning too.
Yeah.
I can't really see.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm at the blah, 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 blah. And he's like, okay, I'm putting that into the GPS. And then he's like, okay, I'm coming. And I'm looking at my phone. I'm going, okay, 8%. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay, 6%.
Yeah,
I'm coming.
Yeah.
5%. I'm like, okay, where are you? Where are you? And he goes, and I'm thinking, okay, hopefully Ronaldo's still at the McDonald's. I'm going, he's got the charger. Should I run back, charge my phone till this guy's here, or should I wait at this intersection? And he goes, I'm very close. So I go, okay, I'm waiting here. So I'm waiting at this intersection. Nobody shows up. Okay? I'm at like 2%. Nobody shows up. I'm like, dude, where are you? He's like, I'm coming. And I'm like, should I go back to the McDonald's where I originally sent my, Bolt address or whatever? Yeah. And he goes, no, I will meet you at the intersection. And then he's like, and then it was like 1%, man. I was like, dude, my phone's going to die. Like, where are you? And he's like, I'm coming up the street on the right.
Yeah.
So I'm looking, I'm like, what car are you in? And he goes, I am in, and then my phone died. And then my phone completely died. And I'm looking at the cars, and I got my phone right here, and I'm like, wait, what did you say? What car you were in?
Yeah.
And no answer. And I'm like, great. I'm sitting there. I got no phone. And then I'm at this intersection. And then I'm like, okay, I'll just go back to McDonald's.
Yeah. Your buddy's there. You're good.
My buddy's there. And then I'm at this intersection. And the guy had me like, I was looking, when you're on the phone, you're pacing, right? So I'm pacing all around this intersection. And I'm like, wait, which way was the McDonald's? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, which way was the McDonald's?
Yeah.
So I start running one way. I run. No McDonald's.
Okay, all right.
And so I'm like, okay, where am I? Okay, I got no phone. I got a wallet case for cards, and I think I had $10 on me.
Cash,
$10
okay,
on me, cash. And I'm thinking, okay, dude, I've walked home from clubs in London so many times. I can find my way easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at the sky. I'm like looking for
the North Star.
I'm looking for the North Star. I'm like, I'm looking at the buildings, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't quite recognize these buildings, but they're where I lived before, where I know I live.
Yeah. Where
my home was, there was like a bunch of cranes that were building these new like buildings. And it just so happened that where I was had like a bunch of cranes just like this that were kind of in the same pattern. So I looked at these cranes and I went, I know where I am.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good. And I know like the proximity of like where the cranes were facing, of like where like the place I lived was. So I just started running that direction. I just started bolting like Usain Bolt.
Like,
I didn't have a bolt though.
Oh.
I missed the bolt, but I was bolt running. And I was running, sweating my ass off. And I was just sweating all the beer off, literally.
Yeah, you're sober at
And I'm in
point.
London, so it's kind of casually raining. So I had a nice shower to just shower all the beer off too.
Yeah, the sweat. Yeah.
Sweat. It was actually great. It was great. 3 a.m, really nice.
Yeah.
And so I just kept running. And I didn't see anything I recognized while I was running. So I was like, I'll run to the cranes. So I started running to the cranes, and they were a lot farther than I thought they were. I was thinking maybe 20-minute run, 30-minute run. Anyways, I got so lost. I was still near the cranes, but I was so sure that these cranes were the cranes that were by my house that I was like, maybe I should ask someone. Like
Yeah,
I'm
you didn't think
near,
of that. You didn't think of that earlier.
I'm near this place, so I gotta ask someone if I'm actually near this place. So I stopped in this little this little street that had some shops on it, and there was like there was a kid around my age and a girl and like his girlfriend that I think just came from a club or something.
Okay.
And or like a bar or something. And I went up and I said, bro, man. I said, oh, it's fine. I don't live there anymore. I said, am I close to Camden Town?
Yeah.
If I go, actually, I didn't even say that. I said, if I keep running this direction,
Yeah.
will I get to Camden Town?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he goes, in bloody 5 hours, you will. I go, what? He goes, if you're running that direction, even the right direction, it's gonna take you like 3 to 5 hours to get to
Camden Town.
Camden Town. And I'm like, dude, I thought these cranes were like the cranes on the other side of the river. And he's like, nah, dude, these are not the cranes. We're in the other side of London. And I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
And he's like, where'd you come from? And I said, I come from that direction. He goes, you're running in the wrong direction, mate. I go, no way, I'm running in the wrong direction? He goes, yeah, mate, you're running in the damn wrong direction. And I go, are you kidding me? And he goes, dude, you got to be running this direction. And I go, well, so if I run that direction, he goes, you're looking like, 3 hours. And I go, oh, Jesus Christ, man. And he goes, just call an Uber or something. And I'm like, man, like I just came from a club. I don't have like, my phone died. I can't call an Uber. Do you have a phone? He goes, yeah, I got a phone. And I go, do you think you can call me an Uber?
Yeah.
And he's like, how much you got on you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got a $10 bill, man. And he goes, well, let me see how much an Uber is. And the Uber was like $15 to $20. He was using like Uber Pool. So it was a little bit cheaper. So it was like
cheaper,
15. I'm talking pounds. I'm saying dollars, but these are really pounds. It was 15.
Yeah.
It was 15 to 20 pounds for an Uber there. And I'm like, I only got 10. And he's like, sucks.
Can I blow you for it?
Yeah, I was like, can I blow it?
Can I?
Your sister can video or your girlfriend can videotape.
Yeah. I'm
desperate.
Like,
I'm like, dude, I got 10 pounds. What am I gonna do? And this guy's like, I can't help you out, man. You don't got enough. And I'm like, okay, what if we make a deal? And dude, I was really thinking about outside the box. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Just a reach around or something.
I got 10 pounds. It costs 15 to 20. I'll rock, paper, scissors you. If I win, I give you the 10 pounds. You call me the Uber.
Yeah.
And if I lose, I give you the 10 pounds. And then I'm shit out of luck.
Yeah,
and then I was, Michael. I was like Usain Bolton it.
Yeah.
If I lost the 10
you were
pounds.
doing the Terry Fox run a little early.
Yeah, a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I rock, paper, scissors this guy, and I won.
Oh.
So I gave him the 10 pounds. He called the Uber, and he was like, "You better stay in this Uber because you're not getting anywhere if you don't. If I got this Uber for you, you better be in there." The Uber comes. I get in the Uber, and it was
that's hilarious. You're just some random off the street.
I just get in this Uber.
Hilarious.
He was like, "That's it right there." I was like, "Put my hand up." I get in there, and it's an Uber pool, so. I met a lot of people on the way, and I was telling them my story. I was like, dude, it's crazy that I'm even here.
Yeah.
Because, I had to do this thing, and lots of great people in London, like crazy stories that they were telling me.
Yeah.
No, if you want to learn some stories, just do Uber pool late at night in London.
And just
talk to the people that get in the back seat.
Dude, I've had most of the times that I don't use Uber a whole lot just because I don't need to. But most of the times that I have, like in Toronto, I've used Uber Pool and like I've literally not gotten anybody. It's just been me.
No way, really?
Yeah, it's fucking great.
See, the thing about London is you do Uber Pool and you meet someone from like every country on the planet. The guys from like Kazakhstan, the other guys from like Argentina. You're like, cool. Like what's goes on there? They're like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
London's such a multicultural, like hub of the world, honestly. Anyway, so I'm Ubering back, and I honestly think I was sleeping by the end of the trip
Yeah.
because it was like an hour drive. The thing about London's such an old city that to get anywhere takes like an hour because you gotta like go up here and then you gotta go back to get to this street to go up there to get to where you want to go because everything's like one way because there's little streets and there's weird like there's no grid structure.
Yeah.
So like to get to where I wanted to go, it was like a wild, like, huge drive. So anyways, I finally got there, and while I was in the Uber, I was questioning, did this guy put the right address in? Because I didn't see
Oh,
what he put in. I
God.
just told him it. I was like, did he put the right address in? I was like looking around, I was squinting like this. I was like, do I recognize that? You know? Because like, am I going the right direction?
Yeah.
And then like
Yeah.
at the last minute, he pulled right on the street that I was supposed to go on, and I was like, perfect, man. This is where I want to go.
Yeah,
And then I
yeah,
got off, and I literally just went straight to bed. I walked in my little studio suite, and I just fell right on the. I was
Dude.
done. I was done with that night, man.
I have not had any nights like that, to be honest. Like where I've been like, oh, I'm on the complete other side of the city and I have no fucking way to get home. I don't. It. What? Why didn't you take a bus?
I didn't have any bus things. I didn't know where the bus came. Like I was literally in the middle of nowhere, man.
Yeah,
I was in like a little small like suburb of like London. That's the thing.
That's true. That's true. I mean, yeah, whatever. No, I've never had that. I've had one time. The weirdest thing that's happened to me, like like after a club night or whatever you want to call it, has been I was just walking home, literally just me on the street,
Yeah.
like I was
Yeah.
like Young Street or something like that, one of the bigger streets in Toronto, and there was literally nobody there. It was fucking weird. And I'm just walking, chilling, whatever, listening to my music or whatever, and out of the blue comes this random guy holding a potted plant. He's just holding a plant, like walking towards me. And I'm just like, whatever, okay, it's just some random guy. But
Wait, are you talking about the Quactus guy? Quactus guy?
Quactus? No.
Yeah, you remember from the Raptors when they won? Kawhi? It's a Quactus.
Oh, I don't know it. No, I don't know what that is.
Everybody watching this got to know that.
I literally don't. What is it?
After the Raptors won, there was a guy holding a cactus like on the street, and they were like, "What is this?" And he was like, "This is my Quactus,"
Oh,
because of Kawhi.
no, it had literally nothing. It was just like a little, like couple leaves. Like it was literally just a
Really?
couple leaves, and he rushes up to me all in a panic. He's like, "Take this,
Really?
take this, take this, take the plant." And I don't want to be like, if this guy's got some stuff, I don't want to piss him off. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay. So I'm holding this plant.
Really? You're holding like just an ordinary plant?
Just house plant, bro. And he's like, okay, thank you. And he runs away. And I turn around, I look, he's just literally just disappeared into the blue. And I'm left there in the middle of the street in downtown Toronto at like 3 a.m. with a potted plant.
Boy, you went to Waldorf. You should be good with this.
I mean, I did.
That was our middle school name.
Yeah,
Let's just
yeah,
say that.
I did add a couple little
Ornaments.
ornaments,
Yeah, ornaments,
to the plant, and it grew to a beautiful flower. But no. So I was just standing there, and I was like, okay, this guy's either crazy and thinks the plant's gonna like hurt him,
Yeah.
and he just wants to get rid of it,
Yeah,
and-
some crazy crackhead.
or it's like somebody's coming for this plant, and I don't want to be around when somebody comes
Mhm.
for their plant, so I just leave it at a bus stop. I just literally left it.
Oh,
at a
you
bus
just
stop.
left it at a bus stop?
Yeah.
Really?
Like right beside the bus stop, and I just kept walking.
you didn't bring it home with you? You would be like,
No, dude, that would've
guess who gave me this plant?
I should have, to be honest. I should have.
That would have been a funny story.
That would have been fuck, dude. I should have done that. But no, I literally just left. I was like, I don't really want to be around. Like, this is kind of sketch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I just left the plant. That was like the weirdest. I haven't had too many weird things happen.
I got to
That
pee
was the
so
weirdest.
bad. I got to pee so bad. I'm going to have to leave you with the dead air.
Oh, okay, all right.
You want to see how long
That's
you
fine.
can do dead air for?
Dead air. You want me to do dead air, or do you want me to go into? Let me see. What can I go into?
You could go into the next segment, or you could do dead air.
All right. No, I don't want to do dead air. I'll try. I'll just keep going. Okay. So let me think. Um. What? This is pretty much dead air at this point. No. Let me think. Yeah, no, that was probably the weirdest person I've had on, in public. I don't like when I moved to Toronto, I lived like super close to like where I was going to school or whatever. So I didn't have to take the bus or take the subway or anything like that too much. It was just for when I was going off on to.
What are we talking about?
No, I just was saying I didn't have to take the bus or anything like that too much when I was in school.
Hey, guess what? I just beat my best one. You guys watch H3? Hey, we're big supporters of H3 podcast. We love that podcast. Honestly, it's good stuff.
Yeah, they are
Doing a couple inside jokes from them, eh?
Yeah, if you get it, please say what you.
Yeah, shout us out, eh? Shout us out.
No, they're fucking hilarious. No, I would literally. You were quick. I'm not gonna. That was
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
good.
quick in there, you know.
That was good. No, I literally was just saying that I don't have too many like crazy crazy travel stories or crazy kooky people stories.
I mean, there's a lot of good people in the world and a lot of kooky people in the world. Let's be honest. I mean, Europe and stuff like that, in North America and stuff like that. It's a good time, man. It's really a good time. Now I was just thinking in there the using the washroom so bad. Remember when I told you that red card story?
Go into that.
Why don't you explain what you remember?
Go into that.
Why don't you explain what
good.
you remember? I was just thinking about that in the washroom.
Okay, so I'll explain what I know because I wasn't in on the story, but I just heard it from an outside perspective. So Adam in high school, right? He had let's just say he wasn't the student of the month very often. Can that be fair?
Hey! I did win the Fisher Award in grade 9.
Yeah. Why did you win that, Adam?
Because I was the most involved student in the school, but I wasn't there to accept it.
Yeah.
That was the only problem.
Yeah, so this kid in when we were in grade 9, this is just a complete side note, but I find it funny. When we were in grade 9, he signed up. Kids, you want to be involved in high school, whatever. He signs up for every single possible thing to sign up for. Every single sport, every single club. Like, I'm not kidding. He signed up for all of them, but he didn't go to a single one. Or he showed up like one time so that he could be officially like on the team or the club.
Hey, I wanted to check it out.
It does. Yeah, okay.
I did a couple of things.
Okay, yeah, you showed. What did you do?
Let's not focus on that.
Yeah, what? No, tell me, what did you do? How was like student? How was like I don't even know what they were. Like what did you? What was there, a chess club or a video game club?
I was in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
How were the meetings? Explain to me.
I mean, they were in depth. They were constructive.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so I will give you that. You did win that award.
I did win the Fisher Award. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Most involved student. But he wasn't exactly. Let's just say Adam's favorite period was lunch.
I mean,
is that fair to say?
What don't you're conversing with your classmates. You're learning about food, lunch. You're eating a lot.
Yeah.
You're talking about what everybody did.
Social skills.
Social skills. What's not to like about it?
Yeah.
So, and you can walk around rather than sit at a desk, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting at a desk right now.
You were walking around during class anyways, but, that's not necessarily part of the...
bathroom breaks, that's what it's about.
Yeah. Okay, so bathroom break...
I mean, for me, it's about showing up to class early enough. Or actually, showing up to class late enough.
Yeah.
That it's still the class.
Yeah.
And then showing up to class, not too late where the class is over.
Okay. So
5 minute mark is where I really exceed.
yeah.
You know,
So you exceed in like showing up the last 5 minute mark.
5 minute mark. That's about where
Yeah,
where it's
yeah.
at,
So
you know,
they can't say you weren't at class.
because the only thing that really matters is that last 5 minutes when she says this is due, this is due, this is due, and then I do that and I'm good.
That's true, actually. That is true. But
All
what
that
about
other time?
now? What about the things like the things that are due? Don't you need to learn about those things in class?
I learned that about the previous class,
But you were only there for 5 minutes the previous class.
and I learned what I needed to do, and then I did it at home, and then I put it in. I'm done. That would we how long our classes were in high school? Like an hour and a half.
Yeah. They were an hour and a half.
Yeah, the first what? Oh, that's a lot of math. No, I'm joking.
Guess you only showed up for the last 5 minutes of math class.
The first like hour in like 25 or like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just you're working. You're supposed to be working on your own stuff. And she explains it. I don't need that. I just do it.
Okay. Yeah. What about the times in class when you work on things that you wouldn't work on at home?
Those don't matter.
They don't exist?
They don't exist.
Oh.
It's all about the
Okay.
exam.
Yeah.
And then you memorize that stuff. And then you go in and you just memorize and then you just put it right on the paper.
Okay.
Bam.
All right. What? Either way. So Adam, let's say he did the 5 minute technique. I'll call it the 5 minute technique. So a lot of the times that would happen, and in music class, Adam actually he did really. That was one of the only classes he enjoyed because he's a musician and a music producer and all of that. But he's always late for music class as well because 5 minute technique. And
Exactly.
what you had a substitute, correct?
Let's just say it was a Friday. Let's just say that.
On a Friday, it's a 2 minute
I mean,
technique.
come on, guys. If you're in high school right now, the Friday is like the funnest day of the week. You're like, let's just stop doing work and just have a party, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's Friday. Let's watch a movie. Let's eat popcorn. Come on.
Yeah.
And, I always loved music class. I mean, the music teachers would be teaching me things, but I would be like, I'm just going to do my own thing in the hall. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You were good at that. I'm not gonna lie, Adam. You were good at doing your own.
That's where
you were good
the
at doing
cute
your own
girls were
thing
walking
in
by.
the hall. Yeah,
That's where the cute girls were.
That's true.
So,
true.
why would I want to be in the classroom for that?
Yeah.
No one to watch me.
Oh, so that was why you were always in the hall
That's
during
why I was
class?
always in the hall,
Oh, okay.
honestly.
Okay. So it was your own. It was for your own productivity in class.
All my relationships in high school were from walking in the hall during class.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was, it was a Friday, and, I'll give Max a little bit more time to explain things before I kick in.
Okay.
Let's just say there was a girl
Yeah. Okay. All right.
that I liked,
yeah.
and
And
I was thinking of a plan.
yeah.
Because I'm always saying, what's the plan? What is the plan?
Yeah. You got to stick. Yeah. Okay. So and this particular day, the plan was to somehow find out how to get into this girl's locker and leave a note and some flowers, or what was it? Candy? Chocolates.
Dark chocolate, baby.
Oh, dark chocolate. Yeah.
Now I
And-
was like, I mean, what's the most romantic thing you can do?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate and red wine, but I wasn't 19.
Yeah.
And so I was like, dark chocolate, that's it.
Okay. All right.
A little lint,
A little lint. Ooh, that's the good stuff.
And then red lint.
Red lint. All right. So you needed to deliver the package.
And I was thinking, I mean, dude, this job took many months of work. This wasn't just a
preparation.
one-day thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a heist.
Yeah.
You're not just, running into the bank going, give me the money, without being, a little bit set up.
Yeah.
So I had lots of work done before this. I was figuring out her classes, where she was going around. Not in a creepy note.
That's called.
Not in a creepy note, but my one friend, my one good friend, he was saying, dude, that girl you were talking about the other day, I think she's in one of my new. This was like just as like the year began, the semester. You know how you
Yeah.
have semesters. So the semester began. He was like, dude, that girl you were talking about last semester, dude, she's in my class, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, no way, she's in your class. He's like, yeah, dude. I'm like, what? And he's like, dude, it's student council. And I'm like,
Oh
what's that? I'm like, what's that, man? He's like, well, you learn about like, student things. And I'm like, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could actually
I'm
do
a student. I could do that.
I am a student. I am enrolled here. I could actually do that.
Yeah.
And we may get some bad comments from that, but I'm ready for them. We're just having fun. We're just having fun. We're like, yeah, I could do that totally. I mean, these are true stories, completely, honestly true stories, but we're just having fun. Anyways, I'm like, yeah, I could do that. And he's like, yeah, man, she's in her first period class. And she was the grade above me. This girl we're talking about, she was
Yeah.
grade above me. So, but the thing is because I went to this private school that me and this kid went to, that was like about, what was it about? Give us the briefing on the school.
You want
Agriculture.
you want me to go into that?
Let's not get into
Let's
it too
go.
much.
Let's
It
go
was
into that.
about-
Let's go into that next time.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
future podcast.
Yeah, that's
maybe
a
around
whole-
around the 100th podcast. we'll break into that.
Yeah.
But we were, I was thinking, can I get into this student council?
Yep.
That's what I was thinking. And
No, I thought you were trying to get into her locker. Did I mess up stories?
no, I'm talking about before.
This
I
is
got
before.
into that.
Okay, yeah. This
Same
is setting
story,
up.
baby.
This is,
Same
see,
story.
This is setting up the heist. I get you.
Same story. This is setting up the heist.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could get into this class just to get to know her. You know what I mean? And I mean, because we brought the school thing, I am a year above in age, but I was the same grade as this kid. So
Yeah.
I'm a 98, he's a 99. That's kind of the difference.
Yeah.
We were talking about the school thing. Anyways, so she was my age, but I was the grade below her. And so I was like, man, none of our classes match. But the student council thing had it had like, it was like senior, it was like, 11, 12, and then 10, 9.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure junior, I don't know how the student councils work, but they usually have like a junior council.
senior, and
Yeah,
whatever.
junior council and a senior council. So I forget where we were, but we did match up one year, and my friend was in her class, and he was like, yeah, dude, she's in this class. And I'm like, dude, get me in that class. And he was like, dude, do you know anything about student council? And I was like, fuck no. But get me in this class. And so I was like talking to the VP, talking to the principal. I was like, yeah, I'm really thinking student. I'm about the students.
Yeah.
I'm about the students.
I want to represent my student body.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about a body right now, and I want to represent that body. And I'm thinking students. And I was pretty good with the principal at that time, so she was like, you're in that class right now. And I'm like, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Anyways, I got in that class. I had no idea what I was getting into.
Yeah.
And they told me that class was first period. And I said, first period? You mean sleeping
Yeah.
period?
Yeah.
Sleeping period. Is that what you mean?
School starts at lunch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I going to wake up for this, man? How am I going to I'm a DJ, bro. I'm a music guy. I'm working on music late at night. I got no time for the morning. No time for the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how am I going to get to this, man? Anyways, I probably for like a month and a half tried to wake up at that time to get to school at that time, and I was like killing myself. And I just remember just going to that class and just sleeping and not remembering anything.
Yeah.
Anyways, did not do a lot of progress with me and that girl's relationship during first period.
Yeah,
She thought I was some goth kid. Like, yeah,
Really?
she thought I was some goth kid. Like, just like I get to the class like this.
Oh yeah. You
know what I mean?
Cracked out of your mind a little bit.
Yeah, cracked your mind.
Yeah.
My friend was good. I was like, yo, just put in a good word. I'm going to bed. That's literally what I said.
Yeah. Let's just say this student council was for the students that were, let's just say, more interested in class time rather than lunchtime. Let's just put it at that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There was some. Yeah, I mean, there was great people in there.
No, great people,
Great people.
Great people, but
They
they
were just-
were
yeah, they were
very
different.
about. They were like, yo, they're smart. Let's
And
just say, okay, they were smart. They were the smart kids. Adam's a stupid kid.
Are you kidding me with that?
Yeah.
You don't think I'm smart? Get out of here, dude.
Dude, I mean,
This plan
Yeah.
was what I was using my brain for.
Yeah.
Let's just say
so
that.
Your brain was preoccupied.
I was
I
not
get
thinking
you, I
about
get
student council. I was thinking about this plan.
I get you. Hey,
So I'm like, I didn't make a lot of headway in class. So I'm like, I'm like, I have to get to her another way. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it during class because I'm sleeping.
Yeah. Sleeping time.
And I mean, it's weird coming up to her during lunch because I'm usually at Tim Hortons. And because I'm Canadian, gotta represent
Good
the Tims.
day, eh?
Fucking A, right? We do.
That's right, bud.
And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to do some sneaky, mysterious, FBI thing,
Yeah, like looking through her window.
something like that. I'm not even sure, but
That was a joke.
I put together a plan where I would, introduce the kind of plan that I had. So I got up enough steam to get up before the class was over.
No
And
way, really?
I,
Before the 5-minute mark?
before the 5 minute mark, and it was
Wow.
hard, but I, persevered getting up.
Okay.
And I got to class, and she was like, "Holy shit, he made it!"
I'm in love.
Actually, no, I did this class. I got like kind of kicked out of the regular class, and I had to do it online. I did it online in 2 weeks, and I was done the class with a 95 before the class even ended. So you can stick that to the people that were in the class.
Yeah, stick that somewhere.
Anyways, no, I was I got up, and this was I think this was 2 weeks before the class was actually done. And I was like, I got to do it sometime because it's getting too late, man. I finished the class, and she was I was still allowed in the class, but I already kind of finished the class. And anyways, I got up and I went to class. I did the thing, and then
Wait, are we just going to skip over the fact that you just said you got kicked out of class and you were just threw it over your shoulder like that was nothing?
well, is it because I did the class online, and I
Okay.
was actually able to finish the entire
All right,
class
all right.
content
Okay.
before the class even ended.
Okay,
so I don't
okay.
know what they were doing in class. Probably a waste of time.
Okay.
Better sleeping.
Yeah, they weren't using the 5-minute technique, that's for sure.
That is for sure. I'll
Alright.
tell you that.
Okay.
Anyways, so I'm like, hey, to this girl, I'm like, hey, you want to walk to second period?
Oh, shit.
I'm
Big
telling
time.
you, dude,
That's
that's
the
a
big time.
great, that's a good amount of time to talk to someone that you don't really know that you like, because, I mean, everyone's afraid of talking to someone that they like because they're like, I hope it doesn't get awkward because I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? But between periods is the short enough time where you can get a conversation going where they go, yeah, I had a conversation with that guy. But if it gets awkward, you can just be like, my class is right here. See you later. You know what I mean? And so I was like, between classes is the best. So I was like, hey, let's walk to second period together. And she knew me. She knew I was in the class or was in the class.
Yeah.
So we walked to second period. I was talking to her, and we were just talking about class stuff. I was talking about what her second period was, and I was just like, I think this was around the time that we are in right now. It was kind of coming up to Christmas, and I was like, Christmas is coming up. I'm so excited. I love chocolate, love Lindor. Do you like those? Like Lindor? And she was like, yeah, I love Lindt chocolate. And I was like, really? And I was like, what type of Lindt chocolate? She was like, oh, the red ones. I love the milk red ones. They're the best. And I'm like, oh, really cool, really cool. And then I brought something else up so she wouldn't be focused on that conversation.
Yeah.
And then I just said, see you later.
I got
And
all
then-
the information I need.
That's all the information I needed right there, baby.
Yeah.
Anyways, the tricky part was how to get in her a locker. And it was a little bit of luck for me, I'll be honest. I Googled a lot of how to hack people's lockers before that. But I did find a combination that usually if you know the type of lock it is, you have there's three sets of numbers
Okay.
that's in a lock combination. And that most people use at school. And if you know the make of the lock, you know with this specific lock that she had, I knew the first set of numbers, and like it was the middle set of numbers and the last set of numbers that I didn't know. And so what I did is, after school, I mean, she shared a locker with two other people.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah.
did is this was the time we had the locker right down, right? It was a couple things down from hers, or was this not the time? I forget.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I don't remember.
Anyways, I stood like
no. Yeah, it was in the front hall.
yeah, in the front hall.
Yeah.
So I would be like standing.
Yeah.
I could have been standing with Max. I could have been standing with some other people. I would be standing here, and I'd be like looking at her other. Not when she was doing it, because that'd been creepy. I'd be looking at her other friends opening and closing the locker, and I'd just be kind of going like this, and just kind of looking at their hand patterns.
Yeah.
And I did this for like a couple days of the week, and I mean the other great. I'm not promoting people hacking into other people's lockers, but if you look at a lock right after someone's locked it, you'll know the last combination, because that's the combination they'll leave it on.
Yeah, but not all the time, dude.
Not all the time.
I would like close it and then I'd spin it and then pull it down just to make sure it's locked and then leave. That's what I would do.
Some extra foolproof protection.
Yeah. Dude,
Anyways, these girls were not doing that, and you could tell because they go like this, and then they stop right when they opened it, and they leave it at that. And so I knew what the last combination was. So I knew the first combination and the last combination. I just need the middle one.
Yeah.
And then the middle one was just a matter of time of the rotation of the wrist. I just did the same rotation, and there was probably a 20 different combinations I needed to try.
Yeah.
And then I got the correct one.
Yeah, but that took a while though, right?
Yeah, it took a while. I mean, I got it pretty fast, I would say.
The principal wasn't too thrilled of you just hanging out in the hallway. 'Cause
Nobody
this was during
knew.
class, right?
Nobody knew because I did it during class.
Yeah, but I mean, like teachers are like walking around the halls and like.
I just when I saw a teacher, I just go, "How you doing?"
Oh, okay.
Nobody knew I was doing this.
Oh, so really stealthy. Okay.
Really stealthy, man. I was good. Good.
So you do that. You get it in there. You do get it unlocked. You get it in there. You drop drop the package.
So listen to this. So I finally get the combination, and I think of, okay, I gotta drop this box of chocolates that she really likes with a nice little note. Something really cliche. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And but I gotta do it without her knowing it's me, without her seeing it's me, and then I gotta do it.
Don't you want her to know it's you?
I do want to know it's true, but I want her to be like, I want to be the mystery man.
Mystery.
Girls love
yeah,
mystery.
yeah.
And so you want to do it so that she has to link the pieces to know it's you. You don't want
to have a funny story, but
you don't want to just like think about that. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to put the package in without her knowing it's me. And then she'll have to link the pieces. And I want to do it on a day, like a Friday, so that she has the weekend to think about it, so that she doesn't see me, if I do it on Thursday, she doesn't see me on Friday in the hall. I don't want to do that. So I got to do it on Friday. Anyways, I had this perfect plan set up that I would do it on this Friday. And then we got a substitute teacher. And we had the substitute teacher, and this was for one of my music classes. And I was like, how am I going to go out and do this and then come back in? I was like, I'll probably go out. I know the combination. It'll probably take me like 10 minutes easy. So I leave the classroom. I say I have to go on a break, gotta go to the washroom.
Yeah. That's important.
Yeah. And I go to her locker and I go to do it. And literally I had the worst luck of my life. Every time I would go and like start working with a combination, someone would be like walking around and I have to like put it back and just be like,
just hanging out in the hall here.
Yeah. And then I finally got it opened and someone walked around the corner and I was like, I'm done for it, man. I'm done. And then it was one of our good friends saw it. And I was like, who's the other guy?
Who's the guy who said that she was in your class, right?
Yeah, he was the guy that said, and I was like, what are you doing here? And he goes, I see you're, putting the package.
Yeah, delivering the
package. So I say, yes, sir. And I'll run along. I got work to do.
Yeah.
Anyways, I put the package in and I write a little note on it and like blah, blah, blah. I just locked the locker. And then, but the whole course of putting that thing in took me like, I was being so cautious that it took me like, a good like 30, 40 minutes to get that thing in, man. It was long. And I got back to class and the substitute teacher was like, "Where were you?" And I was like, I'm sorry. And like, I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought she
What?
was just going to be like, just sit down, like, just listen, just don't leave. You can't go on any bathroom breaks. But she was like hardcore.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
"Where were you?" She like brought me to her room and her office. She was like, "Where were you for 45 minutes? I need to know." And I was like, I was using the washroom. And she was like, "Why were you using the washroom for 45 minutes? I need to know." And then she was like, "If you don't tell me, I'm gonna like report this to like the VP and like talk about, like, we need to know with the principal." And I didn't want to be at the school for any longer than like the regular like length of classes. I wanted
Yeah.
to book it after that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I didn't want
yeah.
to be around in the school at all for this girl to see me.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like,
It's all about the mission.
it's all about the mission. So I was like, what am I supposed to do right now? I was like, I'm gonna have to say something that's so significant that she will let me off and let me leave and justify my 45-minute bathroom break.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I was like, I could say, I wasn't feeling good, but then she was like, well, if you weren't feeling good, you should have come back and like said to me and then you gone home. And so I was like, I was so in the moment. And I was so, high adrenaline that I was like, I got to do the red card.
Pull the red card.
I got to pull the red card.
Oh
baby.
no, dude. You only pull the red card on a dire situation.
On a dire situation. And I was like, I'm pulling the red card, baby.
Oh no.
And I said, I started almost tearing up. I said,
Dude, that's
"You know
better
what?"
acting than at school than in my school.
I said, you know what? You want to know why I was in the washroom for 45 minutes? It's because I had explosive diarrhea. And I was on the toilet in agony for 30 minutes. And I explained to this teacher that I could not come back to class because I was afraid of leaking in my pants. And I couldn't do anything about it. And I still didn't feel good. And I was done with the day, honestly. I pulled the red card. I was done. I was leaking out of my back door. Let's just say that. I was done. I must have ate something really bad, poisonous, and I was leaking.
That's heart-wrenching.
And I was telling her, I was saying, I didn't want to tell you. This is so embarrassing.
No. It's okay, Adam. It's okay. Sometimes this happens.
And
Sometimes
please
this
don't.
happens.
And I was pulling the whole story, baby.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
going, please don't tell the rest of the class. I don't want them to know.
No, don't worry. I
don't
don't
want
want
them
you
to
to be
know.
embarrassed. I don't want you to be embarrassed.
I don't want them to know.
I know it's
And
a hard time in your teen years in high school. It's hard enough. You don't.
It is hard enough, really,
You don't
bro.
need someone
Really,
to know.
bro.
You don't need someone to know you shit your pants.
You don't want to know that. You don't want people to know that. And when she saw my expression, she totally flipped pages.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
went, got it.
Got it.
I went, got it, baby. Pulled that red card perfectly.
Dude, and that was, that's a risky move. You don't pull the red card just for anything.
Don't pull it too many times because trust me, you don't want to pull it too many times. But in the right moment, you could pull the red card, you could be really sky high after that.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to do it because I knew I was in a dire situation. I knew I needed to get something clean and that I could just evacuate right at the end. And so I told her this, and she sat me down and she said, she explained to the class, and I was like, don't tell me she's going to tell the class I shit my pants. Are you serious? She just told the class that Adam is having some, health, like body problems, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's not feeling great. So, that's why he was out of class for so long. And, if he needs to go home, he can go home.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm out of here. And I was like, I thought I was going to have to stay till the end of class, but now after pulling the red card, I was like, I'm leaving class early, baby.
Yeah.
I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm really not feeling up to it. I think I'm going to have to go home. This has just been such a dramatic,
Embarrassing day.
embarrassing day for
Yeah.
me, and I gotta
Yeah.
get out of here. So I booked it. I said I'm on stage 2 of this explosive diarrhea, and I'm out of here. And I ran out of there, and I met up with my friends. I think it was Saad, because I was telling Saad, I was like, hopefully I don't have to pull a red card, right? And then I had to do it. So, traumatic experience. But I got out of there, and dude, that was the only time I've ever had to pull a red card, man.
You don't want to have to. You really don't want to have to, but if you do in a dire situation, it's always there for you. But
Anyways, for the guys that are wondering what happened
oh
with
god.
this girl,
Oh yeah, you go into it. You tell what you yeah.
let's just say great. The plan was perfect. The next Monday, bro, this girl was running down the hall for me, man. She was running, screaming my name. Okay, I was like, "This is what it takes, baby." I was like, I'm right there."
Yeah.
And running. "Oh, can I get your number? This is so sweet." She linked it. She linked it too, baby. And she was like, "Can I get your number?" And we talked for many weeks. And yeah, we were gonna actually hang out.
Yeah.
And then right before I was gonna go pick her up, she texted me and she said, "I don't know if we can hang out because I don't know how my boyfriend would feel."
Well, this has been good.
She had a boyfriend.
After all of that.
I had the whole plan. I didn't even check if she had a boyfriend.
Always check if she has a boyfriend.
Let's just say this, boys. Always check, man. Always check. Because I did all that work. Got nothing. Nothing.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, that's fucking. I forgot about that last detail. Not gonna lie.
Anyways, man. Yeah, it was. The plan was flawless. I had exits for everything.
Did you? Okay, this is kind of. Have you ever? Had an accident actually in real life?
What, in school?
Yeah. Like even younger years,
I wasn't in school younger years.
No. I mean, back
Waldorf?
before high school. Yeah.
I don't usually have accents. I know when I have to go.
Okay.
And I'm in there. If I really have to go, I'm leaving school. I'm not even talking to I'm not even pulling her card. There's no time. If you're actually doing that, you're not pulling red cards. You're out of there.
You're out of there. You're running for the hills. Yeah. No, me neither. I find it fucking hilarious. Like some people have, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I've never had that. No.
I knew. It was a substitute teacher, and she had no clue who the hell I was. And
dude, did you ever see her again?
Not really. No, I saw her like a little bit, but not like face to face.
Yeah.
I was good, and whenever I saw her, I just ran, so I was good. But I had different priorities. Let's just say that.
Yeah, as I said before, Adam's favorite period was lunch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I usually showed up then. See what everybody was doing.
Show up at lunch. Make sure you're early for lunch. Obviously,
15, 20 minutes. You can grab a sandwich at Tim's. No problem.
Yeah.
Bagel or something.
Yeah. And then
we had our one friend, Praveen. This guy, great guy. Love the dude.
Oh, he's the best.
But the dude would always go to Shoppers, which is like a kind of like a drugstore.
Yeah,
kind of like
it was
Walgreens.
a drugstore. Yeah, it was a drugstore.
If you're from the U.S., kind of like would be in like London. You go to the Co-op or something like that. And this dude would always get a Monster Energy. He'd get the largest one too, the like XXL, man, with the cap. He had a guy like pull off, twist, and all that crap.
Yeah.
He'd get that, drink like a quarter of it, and then just throw it on the ground.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, dude, that's like littering, dude. That's not cool. He'd be like, dude, I'm done with it, man. I'd be like, dude, pick that fucking thing up, put it in the garbage.
Yeah, we'd fucking beat his ass. Well, we wouldn't actually, but you know what I mean.
Kid was the skinniest thing ever. What did Yonko say? Chicken wing or something like that?
Yeah. One of our rugby or was it football or rugby? He was coach for both, but
I think he went for rugby for a little bit.
Yeah, football or rugby, whatever. he went for like a tryout or like whatever. There wasn't really tryouts, but he went to a practice, and one of our coaches, he didn't have too much of a filter.
Oh no, he did it.
He did not have a
He
filter.
said if you said anything like wasn't obvious, he'd say,
Yeah. Hey, Mr.
yeah, like
Coach.
Max
Hey,
is
Coach.
doing Max is doing an example. Let's do an example.
Yeah.
baby.
Hey, Coach. So am I supposed to lift the like am I supposed is my back supposed to hurt when I squat?
There's a bear shit in the woods. That's what he'd say.
Yeah.
There's a bear
I
shit in the woods.
Yeah, this guy, he was old school. Let's just say, love the guy.
Funniest guy ever, man.
Yeah, best coach.
You won't find him. He's off the grid in
What's it?
Banff. He's
Banff.
off the grid. He's off the grid in Banff.
Yeah, off the grid.
But great guy. Yeah, one of our coaches.
He'd always call Praveen chicken wing. He'd always say he'd always
He was a great guy though. He was a great guy.
Love that kid. But we would do tackling drills.
Mm-hmm.
And
he was just skinny. He was just skinny kid.
Oh no, it was
skinny.
the ball holding. Like
Yeah,
holding
he
the
was
ball,
holding
right?
the ball like this.
You hold the ball, and coach would say like, how are you gonna hold the ball with that chicken wing or something like that?
Yeah. It looks like a chicken wing. What the hell's that?
yeah. No, he's the best. He was such a good guy. Both those guys.
Yeah, no, crazy stories from there, man. Crazy stories from some school.
Yeah.
That was just one of them, though. But you're gonna have to go to other podcasts if you want to catch.
Yeah,
the
no,
other ones. We got many stories.
I gotta think of some, but they'll they'll be definitely in like the rest of the podcast and like the rest of the episodes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man. Anyways,
Are we gonna
yeah,
call
I
it-
think we're
call it here?
calling it out.
Okay.
Calling it.
Yeah.
But this was I guess this was the first episode of the Studio X, eh?
Studio X, yeah, like we have. This was more of like a long form story.
Yeah,
Sort of a-
long form story. Hey, we took time.
Like a long form story, sort of an episode, but
We took time to explain things. We wanted to give you the the full content of
Yeah.
the whole stories. We don't want to just skip on any details. We want to give you the full thing. So
yeah. And I mean, it's kind of it's as you said, it's kind of the first it's kind of the first episode as like Studio X.
Studio X, yeah, because everyone was coming at us with that
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
So we were like, we gotta wash our hands of that. We gotta wash it. We're Studio X, baby. Studio X. If you want to look us up, Studio X, man.
Yeah. Where can they find you on other socials?
You can go. My personal Instagram is Adam Rowe ROWE 98
Okay, cool.
on Instagram. Just give me a follow. Hey, if you want to know anything else, any questions, any aspect
like
stuff on the podcast.
add things like like if you think you have like a funny like last episode we had like we just had like a shower routine sort of a set like fucking bit, and we just went off on our shower routines. If you have something like funny like that, like just something that is like each person does their own way, you know what I mean, or anything, really anything, just give us send us a message.
Yeah, just give us ideas. Honestly, I love fan ideas.
It's fucking
That's the
great.
best, man.
It's great.
That's the best. So
and you can follow me at Max Kobetich on Instagram, MAXKOBETICH.
yeah. So just hit us up, give us one, either one a message, and we'll get back to you for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, stay well, stay healthy, eh?
Yeah.
Don't get COVID.
Fuck.
Stay indoors, and wear your mask.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think that's it.
Honestly.
Wear your mask and listen to other episodes.
Oh yeah.
Listen to other episodes.
Subscribe, like if you want to see more, eh?
All that shit.
Please. We're just starting out, so if you like our content, please subscribe, because that gives us the energy to make more.
Yeah.
Anyways, perfect. Thank you very much.
See you guys.